Hey, what's up guys? So we're here to go over the full achievements and the full guide for the Darkening of Tristram special event that is only available for this month in Diablo 3. Now, during this event, we'll actually grant you 2 different pets. You'll also get a few different transmogs, as well as some portrait frames. So let me go ahead and show you really quick what you guys can acquire. And if you are using this video to find a very specific achievement that you're trying to go ahead and complete to get whatever reward is, check the timestamp. I've pinned timestamps of whatever achievement that you are actually trying to go for. So we are making a level 1 character specifically so we can actually get the butcher pet, which I'll show you guys just in a second here. But we'll do every single one of these over here so you guys can go ahead and acquire all of the different loot. So first off, as far as the portrait frames, let's go ahead and actually equip one of the portrait frames that you can acquire during this event over here. So we have the classic angel and the classic demon. We're going to go ahead and equip that so you guys can go ahead and see it. And then in addition to that, there are 2 different pets like I mentioned before. There is the royal calf pet as well as the butcher pet. Now, if you guys want to complete everything, go ahead and make a level 1 character to go ahead and start up this event. And then you're just going to go ahead and hop right into adventure mode, and then you can go right into the old ruins. This is what's going to start the Darkening of Tristram event. And I'll go ahead and mention the other things as we go along over here, because there's so much to kind of cover in this video. But one important thing is one of the achievements is to actually eliminate a bunch of monsters, and these are where the monsters are found. They're at specific levels of the dungeon here, and I'll leave that in a pinned comment down below. Someone made a really good guide over here as far as where to find the enemies, and that's what's going to actually allow you to go ahead and get those things completed. And as far as acquiring the cultist pages, you can go through the Cathedral 1 through 4. That's actually the most popular place to acquire the cultist pages, but I'll get into that in a moment here. I just want to go ahead and hop right into the gameplay and go right to the Darkening of Tristram. So what I'm going to do first off is we're going to go ahead and go to the Templar. We're going to go ahead and hire him over here, and we're going to go ahead and grab his weapon so we can do a little bit more DPS over here. So now we've taken his weapon, we'll do some more damage. In fact, since we're playing the monk, we can actually dual wield over here. So we are a level 1 character. The only thing that I put points into as far as Paragon was just movement speed, so I can make this video a little bit better. I've also scaled the difficulty to hard because it's just kind of more enjoyable. But overall, the event is relatively short. So what you got to do is go to the old ruins, and you just walk over here. I'm going to select that weapon rack just in case we can actually gain extra DPS over here. So you'll see that there is this kind of an Easter egg portal here, and this is what's going to start the Darkening of Tristram event. So you'll see that there's Pepin. There's a bunch of stuff from Diablo 1. This is what this is over here, which is really cool. You can see Griswold's fine weapons. It's really cool. We'll showcase more of the town in a moment here, but we're really here to go ahead and do the full event. And like I said, if you're looking for a very specific achievement, all of that will be in the pinned comment below. So what you're going to do is you're just going to go ahead and walk upwards here in Tristram and go to the church. You'll see where it says Slain's Townsman. We got a short sword over here. And we can go ahead and actually equip this to our Templar. So this way he'll actually deal some DPS, even though it's like really low anyways. But you'll see that the graphics have completely changed. This is kind of supposed to be Diablo 1, recreated in Diablo 3. And this event, by the way, is completely free, but it's only available for... Oh, looks like we still get the seasonal buff too. That's really cool. So I would highly recommend playing on Season, because it's just going to make things much easier. I could throw things in the Kanai's Cube, but I think the game is already going to be easy enough for me. It's not too difficult of an event, but I will mention the important levels really quick are going to be at level 2 and level 3. So you'll see on the top right where it says Labyrinth level 1. The Butcher is found on level 2. And I'll kind of mention these as we go along here, so it just doesn't overwhelm you guys with too much content. But you can see we are just mowing through the content. It's a lot faster than I thought. On average, it may take you guys, depending on the difficulty and if you decide to put in the Paragon points or not, it's a relatively short playthrough. I would say maybe about 45-ish minutes if you are rushing it. If you just go ahead and pick a character that is fully like decked out in gear and you just do it on normal difficulty because maybe you just want some of the other achievements, you can get it done like 10-15 minutes. But I want to do the full playthrough because I love doing it. It's kind of just enjoyable. There are a few different weapon transmogs, and we'll be acquiring one as soon as we go ahead and defeat the Butcher, which is going to be on level 2. We're already on Labyrinth level 2. But yeah, this is a fun little event that happens every year, and there's a really cool helmet transmog. A few of you guys did ask me in one of my Diablo videos, I think it was on my Wizard video, because I actually really like how it looks on the Wizard. There's a really cool helmet transmog. We're just going to go ahead and just kind of go through the content relatively fast. I'm not going to kill every single enemy. Here's Shadow Bite. So in order to complete one of the achievements, you're going to need to actually eliminate a bunch of very specific elite monsters over here. And we just got another item over here, so we'll go ahead and put that in. And there will be a few items that you'll remember from Diablo 1, if any of you guys did play that. So we just got a Templar skill. I'm just going to go ahead and put it into heal. And let's see if we get any other skills. I haven't played Monk in a while, so I don't remember exactly what you're going to get like in the very beginning. Let's go ahead and throw on Tempest Rush, because that's technically the meta build anyways for this season. So you see also the way that you move in this is a lot different. It's not like, I believe they called it, was it 8-way directional? I think it's like an 8-way directional movement here. So you'll see that we didn't find the Butcher yet, so I'm going to go ahead and find him. He's usually at this like corner over here, and you'll see this blood trail. And as soon as you open it, you'll get that. Where's that? Where's that classic Butcher? Like, I love the artwork on the Butcher's little area here, but he can hit pretty hard. So you kind of want to be careful if you are playing this on hardcore. Last year, we played this on hardcore. What we should equip is the Butcher Pet after we defeat him. We'll go ahead and just use our Tempest Rush. And once we defeat the Butcher, we will be acquiring the transmog for the Butcher's Cleaver. So you can see it hits pretty hard. And there we go. I was waiting for that classic fresh meat sound, but you know what I might have actually done? I might have went under like sound over here, and I went under, where is it, voice volume. I'm gonna go ahead and pump this up. I'm not sure if that like changes the Butcher's dialogue, but the reason why I actually disable that is because when I'm doing some guides and playthroughs, the Templar will just talk, and I don't want him to talk in the background. So yeah. So on specifically level 2, you're going to be defeating the Butcher, and then on level 3, you want to defeat the Skeleton King. It looks like things are hitting a lot harder now, so we definitely need to get some armor, and hopefully we'll get a legendary here relatively soon. What's Protection Shrine? We got some boots. What else do we get? Okay, so there's another one of those elites. I'll kill the elites here. We definitely need a piece of armor here relatively soon, so we get some damage reduction. But that seasonal buff is kicking in and it's helping out quite a bit. Oh, we got Godly Plate of the Whale. So this was an item that wasn't supposed to exist in Diablo 1, but like it's kind of a known hacked item. But it does also have that really cool artwork. And here's what the Butcher's... oh gosh, this is going to look really strange. I guess you can't even zoom in on this. But here's what the Butcher Cleaver looks like. So that is a transmog that is acquired through the special event for this month. But in Diablo 1, the monk was actually in Diablo 1. Most people know the rogue, the warrior, as well as the sorcerer. But in Diablo 1, there was an expansion by Sierra that actually added in the monk. It also added in oils, more uniques, more quests. It was actually really cool. I still actually own my physical copy of Diablo. Hellfire was the name of it. And it was cool. But yeah, we'll do all the achievements as well. I just have to find the Skeleton King. And this is on level 3. So here's King LEORIC'S 2. But if you guys are playing this special event, I do recommend you guys to play it on hard. The reason why is because the game, if you just do it on normal, I would say it's a little bit easy. And Diablo 1 was not an easy game at all. We'll try to do like a 0 death over here. I was thinking about doing it in hardcore again, because usually I prefer to play on hardcore for like these events, just because it makes it a little bit more exciting here. But because there is a little bit of RNG sometimes with something that we'll get into later, for the sake of the playthrough, I didn't want to die and be like, alright guys, hold on, let me level up a character all over again. But you can see the Templar, he got eliminated quite fast. But yeah, Diablo 1 was a much more difficult game. And then we'll be leveling up the Templar once we get to 10. And we'll get that extra ability on him, so it'll help out quite a bit. Just like the Volta. Looks like we got a belt over here. Grab one of the health globes over here. That's also a newer mechanic that makes things so much easier. In Diablo 1, you had these potions, and you'd only be able to activate them once. But he's supposed to be quite tough, so it'll take us a little bit of time, but we'll get him down. I think what I'll do is I'll keep on autoing him, and then to clean up the trash mob, I'll use the Tempest Rush. I'll eliminate the skeletons. And then we'll throw in some runes on some of our abilities, because we probably leveled them up to the point where we've gotten newer ones. And in Diablo 1, interesting enough, Diablo 1 had a lot more freedom than Diablo 3, because you would acquire these skill books. And that's how you actually gained and used skills. You would find these skill books. Alright, so he's almost dead. I believe that move heals him too, when he does that swing. He's a tanky boy. I think we'll be okay once we grab this health globe. Yeah, there we go. 200, 165, 130. And there we go. And then we get the Undead Crown. This is another Diablo 1 artwork item. Now we have a passive slot, so let's go ahead and I'm going to put in inflate footage just so we can move even faster here. And then our Templar will have the ability to give us that regeneration, which will make things so much easier here. But yeah, like I said, we probably have some runes. Let's go ahead and grab that so we can have some heals, and then almost sounded like a little goblin. What was that sound? I don't know if you can actually find any goblins in the Darkening of Tristram event. But let's go ahead and throw on, if we got any other rune. Okay. Increase the weapon damage. Fist of Thunder. Let's see. I think it's this one that I liked. What does Fist of Thunder have? Oh, I can't change anything now because we're in combat. So we'll have to now go to level 4. And the next thing that I'm going to mention is actually on level 9. However, the Dark Passage spawns at level 2, which is an RNG mechanic. And there's also Chamber of Bones at level 6. Thank you, Abel, for the biddies down. I totally forgot we were actually live streaming this event. But hello there, everyone in the chat. Platypi, Todd's, Jin, and Michael, how you doing, mate? Wagwan, how you doing? But yeah, let's go and complete the event, and let's see where the path is. Probably this way. And I also want to go ahead and swap out the Fists of Thunder for Crippling Wave because it does an AoE. Where is it? Now I have Dashing Strike. We should be able to complete this event even faster. Let's see if there's any upgrades on our... Ooh. Okay, there we go. And then we can give the Sword of Haste to our Templar. What's this? 4.2. Alright. Give him a little upgrade here. So now we'll hit for a lot harder, but we'll attack a little bit slower. But with Tempest Rush, it doesn't really matter. Scaling attack speed still will increase our damage, and it'll increase the amount of times it like activates per second. Is there still this? There's a little like oh, loose stone. Okay, no. Usually this area over here is a chest that you can activate, but it opens up a trap. In Diablo 1, there were a lot of different traps. That, in fact, like barrels would explode, and you can actually like die to a barrel. I know it sounds dumb, but that's just how it works. Garbad the Weak. This guy was very iconic. You would talk to him, and he. Ooh, we got close. Wow. What the heck was that? We almost ripped right there. But anyways, you would go up to him, and he would tell you like not to kill him. And then he's like, I got something very powerful for you. Please wait. Please wait. It was really cool, though. And then at the very end, he would try to kill you. He's actually in Diablo 3 as well. Now we got a decent amount of damage increase over here. What is this, though? Healing effect suppressed. Okay. I don't remember that. I don't know if that's something new, or I might have just not paid attention to that in the Darkening of Tristram event here. Oh, I also want to mention to not look for any waypoints, because there are none. In Diablo 1, how the waypoint system worked was you would unlock these areas, and they would be like open from town. But there was no waypoint system. I think that's a lot of HP. The Snot Spill. Oh, did we get another newer item? Oh, okay, cool. We got another item that has a new like skin over here, so it's going to give us a lot more toughness. And I guess extra XP. Okay. Oh, there's an XP pool over here. Let's go and grab that. The Pool of Reflection. And the nice thing with Dash and Strike is we can just go ahead and avoid the wall. So yeah, we don't have anything very specific that we need to actually reach until level 9 here, especially for the achievement guide. There is... I love the audio in Diablo 1, but anyways, in the level 6 there is the Chamber of Bones. But anyways, let's go ahead and continue. Shadow Crow. We'll kill all the elites here for the video, just in case they drop anything. I think that they will have a higher chance to drop certain items. As far as the legendary items go, in Diablo, the Darkening of Tristram event, I don't believe that there are any, unless they added some to this year's like new update. All right, let's see what we got. Oh wait, this is Staff of Apocalypse. So this is actually a really cool item. So the Staff of Apocalypse is something in Diablo 1, which is another item I believe that should not have existed in the game. And there's only the Scroll of Apocalypse. What it does is you activate it, and it just does a bunch of fire damage to everything, almost everything on the screen. It's very, very good. But a very iconic. Our attack speed feels so slow with this weapon, but it's because it's a two-hander. Especially in the very beginning of Diablo, when you have no attack speed, it definitely feels very, very slow. Alright, let's go ahead and eliminate him. Let's see if there's anything. Oh, we got a ring. Nice. And we'll probably get a legendary relatively soon. How Diablo 3 works is there's a set amount of interval in the time, depending on the difficulty, to drop a legendary. No damage boost. Actually, let's see what 29 can this. Okay, this still outclasses it. Okay, and then we also got another passive over here, so this is going to increase our spirit, which would be quite nice to have. Go grab this pool. But yeah, this is a fun event that happens. Oh, okay. So how this works? Well, we'll go ahead and read the Book of Blood.
And so, locked beyond the gateway of blood and past the hall of fire, valor awaits for the hero of light to awaken.
We'll go ahead and show you guys what the heck this does. Actually, do I have to access this? I might have to access this by pathing through here. This is actually a mechanic that was in Diablo 1. Surprisingly, Diablo 1 has a lot of really cool mechanics. Even though it's a really early like action RPG, it's pretty unique. In fact, Diablo 1, I believe, is considered abandonware, and there's a website, if I remember, I'll link it down below in the pinned comment too, where you can play the full Diablo 1 experience just through your web browser. It's crazy how technology has gone. Hello, Genetic. You're blessed with an early stream. I know. We're streaming early because the new Diablo event is indeed here, and I love to do this thing every single year. And I also like to check if there's any newer update. Let me go double check on this. Oh, here's a. Is this magic rock over here? Oh, bunch of gems over here. I don't think we have anything with a socket right now, but later down the line that will be huge. Let me just double check on this one real quick, because there is supposed to be a stone that you put in over here. I don't know if there was a. Is that just to read it? Oh, okay. Oh, it opened up. Okay, perfect. There we go. And now we're going to go and grab the bloodstone. And we're going to go and place it here, and it's going to go ahead and open it up over here. Grab this bloodstone.
This cannot be opened yet.
Oh.
I cannot open this.
Yeah, did it open up this one? Okay, that one opened up this one. Well, these guys are hitting hard. We gotta be careful. So this is the area that can get kind of nasty because of the horned demons over here. But because of the seasonal buff, it does make things a little bit easier. But these guys, the overlords, can hit quite hard sometimes. If you get grouped up, they basically can swarm you. And then we're gonna go ahead and eliminate that and throw in the last bloodstone. Oh, they don't. That doesn't have the audio? That's really strange. Okay. What happened in Diablo 1 is it says, may the spirit of Arcane protect me. Oh, got another weapon. Gives us a 1% damage increase, but we lose out on like a lot of toughness. So I don't think it's worth losing out on that toughness. We'll see if there's anything else. Okay. We're going to just dashing strike over here. I keep on thinking that's the sound of a goblin here. Let's check out this area. I don't think there's anything else though. It's just like a dead end. Okay. Yeah, having dashing strike is so nice just to be able to path through content so much faster. But now we got to go all the way back up over there. Now that we've gotten Arcane's Valor, and I don't believe that there's, well, okay, it's I guess the same artwork anyways as whatever we had before. But there is another transmog that I will show you guys how to acquire, and that's basically by just completing it. but we need a socket in our helm. So we're on Labyrinth 6 over here. And in order to dashing strike, you need to be able to actually like walk through the door. Like the door has to be open. Like if I open up that door, I could just dashing strike through here. And then after, there is a really strange Easter egg that I feel like you'd have to just kind of know, because I don't remember if I saw it on YouTube or some forum, but like it's picking up the black mushroom specifically at I have my notes over here. It's at level 9. And we're on level 6 over here. What are we at? 25 minutes in? Alright. But some of the enemies, just as a heads up, with the link that I'll provide with you guys in the pinned comment, it won't always have the enemies appear there. It's just simply RNG. There are certain areas, like the Dark Passage, that is RNG that won't appear. So they basically want you to play through it multiple times. But for the first playthrough, yeah, I recommend doing it. If you want to have the pet cosmetic, you will have to go ahead and make a level 1 character. But I find it very fun to play anyways, so it's no biggie to me. That'd be pretty nice. We should probably just try to eliminate most of the enemies that we see here. We got Bealed crystals over here now. And then at 15, I'll see what we can do for like our skills. See if we have something that can maybe do some more DPS. We're going backwards now. Let's go ahead and go to the top left. I actually maybe should do a full playthrough of Diablo 1. We started doing like an earlier playthrough of Diablo 1 The Hell, which was a mod that actually came out recently. Yeah, the Horned Demons are the ones that you gotta watch out for. This is, if you're playing hardcore and you're doing it from level 1, this is the area, well, it's the Horned Demons that I think are a little bit more difficult for like the regular monsters. Alright, so now, we eliminate everything out of the way. Okay, and then we'll go and get that charge. Okay, so I think this is supposed to be considered the area where there's the like enemies that will teleport in on you, and they can get quite nasty because you can get surrounded. In Diablo 1, there's, in Diablo 2 even, there's something called hitstun where you would get hit by the enemy and you would not be able to react. It was something that was super frustrating sometimes to deal with, but there were things that would have like faster hit recovery that kind of helped out with that. Increases chance to knock up. Is there anything? Increases attack speed. Every third hit freezes. Let's go ahead and try out this one, see if this one's a little bit better. And then chance is at 20. I believe we'll hit like at least level 20 for this. Oh, whoops, I didn't want to put it on. I gotta reorder these skills in just a moment here. Yeah, slow attack speed really feels bad in the very beginning, but in Diablo 1 and 2, like, you didn't have the super fast attack speed. You weren't clearing, like, you know, screens of monsters within seconds, which is kind of how a lot of action RPGs are now. Oh, we got Ring of the Bear. So let's go and see what that does. Oh, so this is also a newer artwork for the ring. This Empyrean band over here gives us extra damage, which is actually quite nice. And then we have Keen Ring. And then what does this one do? Just Vitality. And let's see if there's anything else that is going to be a little bit of a buff. Okay. And let's go ahead and move. I want to put this over here. And instead of Crippling Wave, do we get a S2 Fist Thunder over here for this? Ooh, we have Wave of Light now. I'm gonna mess around with Wave of Light. I do like that skill. Wave of Light. I'm gonna put that over there. And then for our left click, what do we want? For bosses, actually we can do Cyclone Strike on this. Now we have this. You get some extra free damage in over here. In fact, I think Blinding Flash, okay, it's not till 55, which we will definitely not hit in this little playthrough over here.
I can see what you see not. Vision milky from iron's rot.
Yeah, so this... Oh, I'm sorry. Kind of talked over the audio here because the enemies are making too much noise.
Out of darkness, out of mind, cast down into the halls of the blind.
Yeah. There are like these little like poems and little like lores that you will find here, and this area is really cool because this is where I feel like light radius. In Diablo, most people never went and got light radius, and I don't think anyone would still get light radius, to be honest, as an affix on an item. But we're gonna get this resplendent chest. Let's see what we get. Do we get an amulet? That's huge. But these enemies, I believe it still works just like in Diablo 1, where if you stand on, I don't know if our heals, like our life per second is just too high. But basically, you don't want to stand on their corpses. It will deal damage to you. And I believe Halls of the Blind is part of the achievements anyways. It's just a really cool area that I wanted to show off too. And plus, we might have actually gotten an upgrade here. Oh, nice. We did get an upgrade. Both the King's Sword of Haste. They'll all give you additional attack speed, which would be so much nicer because we were attacking super slow. Oh, it's movement speed, really? Oh, that's interesting. Oh, so it's movement speed, I'm sorry, not attack speed. So, the rolled strength, unfortunately. Let's go ahead and equip that, and let's continue. But I guess that was worth it for the resplendent chest over there. Let's see if we can dashing strike through the wall. Oh, okay. We can probably do it right here and it'll still be faster. Nice, there we go. But I like this area. I think it's a really well-made area. And I wish in Diablo 3 there were more areas that were super dark like this. And we didn't go through here. Okay, it's nothing. But yeah, anyways, going back to what I was talking about before, when I was talking about Diablo the Hell, it's a fan-made mod, but it is really, really, really difficult.
I will not do that.
But I still feel like even to this day, Diablo 1 still aged very well for the most part. In terms of its gameplay mechanics. And the resolution, not the best, but you can actually change the resolution with a bunch of different mods. In fact, most Diablo 1 mods will all change the resolution. For Diablo 2, changing the resolution kind of messes up with the game, because the AI just simply doesn't target things when they're in certain areas. Let's go and spam Wave of Light. There we go, level 16, nice. Get a new skill or something. Oh, Serenity, that will actually be very, very helpful. I'll probably swap off of the Cyclone Strike for that later. It's not that important right now. Heck, we could have been playing on hardcore so far. We got close to dying like 2 different times. I think that makes the game honestly more exciting to play the game on hardcore, because there's always like that edge of you could RIP, and on top of that, you don't happen to have your like what is it, like near-death experience, because most of those are unlocked later in the game. Go ahead and skip on this mob over here. Just another experience pool.
What you ask is impossible.
Making sure we're kind of pathing through the right way. And so we're coming up to level 9, or like depth 9. And that's where we'll find a very, very important item. So far we've defeated the Butcher as well as the Skeleton King. Both those are going to be bosses that you will need to defeat for the banner. I'll show you guys all that stuff at the very end once we've like unlocked them. Technically, I've already unlocked them, but I want to complete everything for the anyone that is interested in actually interested in getting all the achievements done. For me, I'm mostly about the rewards, but we have Musty Tome over there. Here's Zar the Mad. We're just spam wave of light. He teleports. Looks like we stunned him. Or you know, that actually might have been the Templar stunning him. Another King's Sword of Haste. We'll go ahead and actually just get rid of these items. We'll keep some of the more unique looking ones, just so we'll have them there. King's Sword of Haste will probably end up getting like a bunch of different times. Go ahead and equip this one over here because this one will be better. They always roll them strength too. Maybe, actually this is going to give us so much extra toughness if we run that. Versus 2 decks. I'd much rather have this. This gives us a huge boost in damage. We'll keep 1 Archangel Staff of Apocalypse. It's a very iconic weapon in Diablo 1. We'll keep that as well. So this way, at the very end, I can show you guys all of the newer looking items. And in fact, you know what? We can give to the Templar. We can go ahead and give him some rings now. Actually, we just got an amulet, so it gives us a bonus on poison and actual crit chance. But it's a really low amount anyways. All right. Now our Templar will be a little bit more tanky. It looks like that's just a dead end, unfortunately. Another thing that is important, if you do play this, it is nice to have a bunch of gold. You will need, I believe, 1 million is the exact number of gold that you will need to actually get one of the achievements, as well as the transmog, which is going to be the Wart's Leg, which is a very iconic thing from Diablo 2. Oh, here we go. Well, we found it immediately. So this is an item that you will need to actually get the cow pet. So we're going to go ahead and click on the black mushroom over here. And the rotten mushroom will drop. And we'll have to use this later, which I will show you guys exactly what the heck we're going to be doing with it. Power Shrine. Oh, resource cost, I like it. Yeah, I believe, well, shrines in Diablo 1 were actually very unique. So in Diablo 1, how shrines worked was they would give you random effects. Some were actually bad. So what it actually made you do, because it wasn't online only. In Diablo 1, the shrines could give you negative effects. So what you would do is you would save, then you would activate the shrine, and if it gave you a negative effect, you just reload your save. That's how most people played it. Other people would play it in this Iron Man challenge where they would just not. They would either only use a limited amount of saves, or at certain intervals you would be allowed to save, depending on like what challenge. Ooh, we got a new weapon, and it is a legendary. So that's pretty cool. Let's go and check out what it is. Probably going to give us a huge DPS boost. Wow, that's going to be really nice to have. And it's so much life per hit. Wow, okay. But our attack speed is going to be significantly slower. But we should be like almost one-shotting everything now. Maybe we'll run something that can attack much faster, like Wave of the 100 Fists over here. So at least feels a little bit better. And unfortunately, we went in the wrong direction. There's a chest over here, though. And just 40 vitality. This one gives us, well, it gives a little bit of life per second, too. Doesn't really matter that much, though. Let's see if we got any other passives that we can throw on that would be a little better. What is that actual next good passive at 20? Okay, so at 20 we'll be able to get the extra spirit generation. But anyways, yeah, going back to shrines, there were some really cool shrine effects in Diablo 1. They would fill up your inventory with gold, because gold, it was kind of like gems where you'd have to actually have it in your inventory. there was ones that would permanently change your stats in the game, like your strength, dexterity, int. It would actually permanently change it, which was actually really cool.
Cannot be done.
So we're gonna get Labyrinth 10, and I'm just gonna double check on my notes over here because I wrote down the stuff that we actually need to maintain. I don't think there's really nothing else that's super important after the Black Mushroom, I believe. There is one RNG mechanic. I might make a specific video going over that to get Griswolds, because it's an item that has an RNG chance to actually spawn in, and you'll just have to reload the area over and over. And some of you guys that have played Diablo know that getting certain cosmetics or things, sometimes the RNG is really bad. You just get really unlucky, and it just takes just an insane amount of time. I'm sure some of you guys have probably played this game for a while and still haven't gotten those cosmic wings. That's myself included. It's just not an easy item to go ahead and acquire. We got a huge DPS increase, 10%. Unfortunately, our legendary, we'll probably only get like 2 legendaries within this playthrough on average, depending on, again, the difficulty that you're playing on and how long it takes you to complete things. Oh yeah, we need to add Serenity to our list of items here. So let's go ahead and actually swap these, and then I want to add Serenity. Ooh, 7-sided strike is really fun as well. Yo, let's run 7-sided strike. I definitely want to equip Serenity though. Let's mess around with 7-sided strike. And also the audio that you're hearing in town, as well as while you're doing the playthrough, is from Diablo 1. You'll notice as soon as you go into town, it'll have like the classic Tristram theme. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that will melt everything. I wonder if it's actually going to be this way, or if it's going to be in that little area that we didn't go through. Okay, it was. It's always the area that you didn't go right next to. In Diablo 1, there were exploding barrels, and because you didn't have unlimited potions. In fact, in Diablo 3, originally how it worked was potions, you would have these and you would purchase them in town. Obviously, that has since changed. But yeah, they've really streamlined the game to have, I guess, kind of quality of life. But in Diablo 2, there's a lot of more unique potions, like the antidote potion, the stamina potion, rather than just healing you. And then Diablo 3, you got, of course, the legendary potions that would allow you to get some type of bonus, which I thought was kind of cool. But I think Path of Exile did the flask system quite well, where you have ones that will basically give you extra damage. They're basically another set of items, if you will. And I really like that mechanic. I also miss charms in Diablo 2. Thought that was a really cool mechanic. You'd sacrifice inventory space for items, for more items. And like I said, I'll kill all of the like more elite enemies over here, just so we can maybe acquire better items. We got our shoulders finally. Extra vitality, so we're going to be a little bit tankier for, of course, that final Diablo fight that we'll be actually coming up to very, very soon.
It is not ready yet.
There we go. Like I said, at 20 is where we'll get our next like breakpoint for.
That ability is not
That cooldown is actually quite long. Maybe instead of, we just got another rune for Wave of Light. So maybe we'll swap that 7-sided strike out for something else, because the cooldown is just too long. Especially since in the very beginning, you know, you don't have any cooldown reduction. It just takes too much time. Oh no, am I gonna get unlucky? Alright, let's go and rotate out of 7-sided strike for... Ooh, Mystic Allies coming up. We might be able to get that, but let's see what we got. We have Vulture. 825. I'd rather just go ahead and take that, since I don't mind showing off more of the content. Alright, we're coming up towards the very end over here. Yeah, most of the elites will drop, like, I would say, better items. Fire skills deal additional damage. We're going to use Dashing Strike over here. Oh, nice. More XP.
It cannot be done. What you ask is impossible.
The armies of hell are home to the warlord. In his way lay the natural body of the
I'm sorry for whoever wanted to hear the lore. The enemies came at me. Okay.
down to fulfill his endless sacrifices to the Dark Ones. To scream for one thing. Blood.
Alright. You know what my favorite enemy in Diablo 1 was? I really like those, the Dark Knights, as well as the Succubuses, but looks like we're coming up to one over here. Succubus had a way better artwork in Diablo 1. Much better. I don't know if we'll be able to get a helm with a socket anytime soon, but I'll show you guys what the thing looks like once we get to it. Yeah, you gotta watch out for those stars. They will do a massive amount of damage. Actually, I don't know. I want to test it out. Are they gonna do massive amounts of damage now? Or are we just too tanky? Eh, they do okay damage, I guess. I don't know if we just got really lucky with the items we got, but normally those hit really hard, and they also, in Diablo 3, in most circumstances, minus I think the Darkening of Tristram, they, I believe, also apply a debuff. I'm gonna actually surrender and just face tank it the whole time. Oh, another legendary! Oh, it's oh, this is gonna make the playthrough way too easy. This is Gold Wrap. Well, while I do like legendaries, I'll show you guys what this one does. In the off chance that any of you guys don't know what this one does, it gives you armor based on the gold that you pick up. I mean, heck, we're still okay. If we were playing on hardcore, this would make the game so easy. Like, we'd be able to face tank everything. For the sake of the playthrough, to make it more entertaining, we will not be equipping the gold wrap. It will just make the playthrough too easy. And I want that challenge. We finally got a mantra. Oh, we just hit 20. Oh, no, we're going to hit 20. Kind of want it just for the stats. But if you are playing on a character that you have a bunch of Paragon points, by all means, go ahead and throw in all those Paragon points. You can complete this whole thing in like 10 minutes. But I enjoy the journey, and I think that I want to say it was Brandy. It's just one of the people that is in the community for Diablo. Oh, did we get? Oh, I thought we got another legendary over here. She recommended also to play as a new character at level 1. It does make it so much more enjoyable, though. Oh, do we get a socket in our helmet? Oh, that's nice. So now that we've got a bunch of topazes, we go ahead and throw this in our helm, and then we'll have reduced resource cost by 3.5%, which is, that's a small amount, but you know what? I'll take it. Well, we're coming up pretty much the end of the area here. I want to go ahead and grab that chest. Did we get anything? Nope. We'll skip out on some of these. So I'm going to try to keep this buff up as long as I can, the Frenzied one, for maybe a stronger monster. There we go. The Unholy Altar. And so this is where we'll be defeating the next boss. Actually, you know, we should skip out on these so I can get that frenzy buff as long as I possibly can. eliminate all these first. Oh, is it a switch? Yeah. Okay, so activate the Book of Lazarus. I'm gonna go pop my Serenity in the off chance that we actually do get destroyed here. Got another ring. I'm gonna try to keep up that buff. So you go to both of the sides over here, and everything's frozen because of the seasonal buff. Oh, there's the chant. So now we'll have a lot more resource. Here's the Archbishop Lazarus. Probably shouldn't send that plague, but I think our toughness is so high right now that we can totally do it, and we'll be totally fine. And that one is eliminated. There we go. He will open up the portal. He drops a bunch of stuff. Holy skills. Okay. What is this doing? Cold skills? Well, it's only 3%. It's like so small, but like in the very beginning of the game, you just won't get that much in terms of stats. 15 dex. What does this give me? 10 dex. Oh, it reduces damage from melee attacks by 3%, so that's probably a little bit better if I throw this in, but not that big of a deal. And we got a new ring over here. Does it add? No, it's just vitality. Okay, so now we're going to be going to the Labyrinth level 16, and let's go ahead and just pump up the last thing in our Templars abilities here. And well, I really like Siege Initiative. I really love it. I was actually thinking of going for the chant, because the chant will give us extra spirit regen, which just lets us spam our lashing tail kick a little bit more often. I don't know if there's anything we can do as far as get extra movement speed. That's nice. Oh, stuns the enemy. That might be kind of nice. Yeah, this is still probably what I'm going to go ahead and go for. Even though this gives us cold damage, I could go swap to Holy. I'll go ahead and equip that. So this is the final moments, guys. Final moments. We're at Diablo now. So how it works is you can't just go ahead and fight him. You got to activate these switches. We're going to activate the first switch over here. It's going to open the next door. And surprisingly, like, these enemies aren't as tough as the ones that will charge you, like I mentioned before. We actually have Swooping Wind. That's actually quite nice. This gives us extra damage, right? Yeah, just some small amount of damage, and it heals us. Oh, here it is, the Dark Lord, the final fight. I probably didn't need to activate Serenity, but whatever. You gotta watch out for that Lightning Breath. That still does a decent amount of damage. I don't think we have any chance to lose other than from that specifically. Actually adds a lot of different damage. Well, when that lightning breath comes out, I will try to like dash away from him. He just did this ground stomp, and we'll actually get the ability for that stomp. And he dropped a legendary. Oh, we got the cutscene from Diablo 1. Let's go here. We'll no cam it real quick. I think from the lore, it's supposed to be the warrior that actually like inserts the stone into his helm. All right, so now we've seen the final cutscene. Let's go and pick up all of our loot and then go right into town, and I'll show you guys the final sections of the achievements. I didn't mention this before, but you can still use like oh gosh, just so much easier on the eyes, obviously because they changed the visuals here, but there's still more stuff to go ahead and do, and this is actually the most important thing, but it's very, very fast. So I don't know if there's anything better here. We're not going to actually fight, so it doesn't really matter, but I'm just going to go ahead and, for the sake of the video, go ahead and go over a recap of what would be new here in terms of like what the items look like. I don't believe this changes the items as far as the look of it on your character in game, but I'm saying in the inventory here. This is new. This is new. These are all new right here. There's a few different rings. I believe specifically this one, you can tell by the giant artwork on it, as well as the amulet over here. I think there is a few more that we didn't get, but it's just RNG, but again, it doesn't really change too much. Now, this is something that is really cool, and I'm so glad that we got a helm with a socket in it, so I can now show you. So this is a legendary gem. It doesn't really have a use in the game in terms of viability, with the exception of there was one iteration of a patch where how it worked is, let's go over the effect first. So if you periodically struggle for control, unleashing a ring of fire that deals 12,000% damage to enemies it passes through. Then once you get to rank 25, after gaining a level, your resource costs are removed and your cooldowns on skills are reduced by 75% for 30 seconds. This is actually quite great if you're a relatively low Paragon level, because as you're progressing through the rifts, you're going to be able to gain that bonus. How it used to work is it would stack. So you can it would give you 30 seconds of that effect. But if you would level up again, it would start stacking the effect and it would get absolutely ridiculous. What people were doing at one point in the game was to push greater rifts, they were actually creating a level 1 character, spamming through level 70, having that few minutes of that buffs, and then they would go into the greater rift with that full entire buff. And that was kind of cool. I actually thought it was a cool mechanic, because what it encouraged people to do is they would try to push a greater rift, and if it didn't work, they'd have to remake a level 1 character, get to 70 ASAP, and then just kind of repeat the process. But there is also a transmog that I want to show you guys for this. And here is what it does look like. And it is available on every single character. I feel like it does look quite cool. It almost looks like kind of like red makeup. I really like it on the wizard. But for the monk, where is it? This one's always been my favorite, so I'm going to go ahead and equip this one just to show you guys real quick. Because I had that asked quite a few times which one I was using on one of my videos. But for the sake of video, since this is new, we'll use it. So that is one of the transmogs. And I believe it might just be for the... Here's the Butcher's Cleaver, but there's another transmog I want to show you guys. So let me go ahead and just get rid of these. We're in a single player game, so it doesn't really matter that we just spam it in the town. So this is actually a very unique mechanic, and I have to go ahead and go over my notes real quick. So first off, that black mushroom that we got, remember that's obtained on level 9. We're going to take that black mushroom, go back into the old ruins, and this time instead of going and pathing, oh, actually we need to first go to Tristram, which is going to be this little portal over here. Instead of going over here to where the labyrinth starts, we actually need to go to the cauldron. Actually, let's go ahead and instead of equipping this, we'll equip this so we can move a little bit faster. So we'll go ahead and go over here. You have to have the black mushroom for this. Okay, so we're going to take the black mushroom and go to the cauldron, and that will convert it into the witch's brew. And it says, this strange concoction has been steeping for several years now. So we're going to go ahead and take that, and I believe that's normally where Adria's hut is, which Adria is technically in Diablo 3, which I thought was a really cool thing that it did return to the game. And so we're going to take this, and we're going to go downward over here. And this is where it gets like kind of, I guess, cryptic. It reminds me of games back in the day where you just have to know certain things. So this is Farnham's corpse. Now we're going to go ahead and go to him and select the drunkard step, and it's the money. Oh, it says, this was all the treasure Farnham had left, which he'd hoped to use to keep his favorite place in business, which is going to be over here. Go to Ogden, and he's going to drop Garda's letter, and it says, a heartfelt letter from Ogden's wife to the healer of Tristram. It regards the fate of Canas's child. which we're going to go ahead and go to Pepin's Corpse. This is a guy that will heal you in Diablo 1. You get the Healer's Prescription. This is also the same artwork as the Cultist Pages, which I will briefly mention because that's part of the achievements anyways. So we're going to go ahead and take that Healer's Prescription. This is how you actually get another pet over here. Now we're going to go ahead and get the plans for the Wart's Leg. Now we're going to go ahead and go back to the old ruins. Actually, well, we don't have to go here. We can actually go... This will actually be faster. So we'll go ahead and take these Wart's leg plans. We'll go ahead and learn it because this is a seasonal character. I haven't learned it, but if you've already learned it, I believe it won't drop more than once because just like all plans, you can only learn them once. And then what you're going to go ahead and do is you'll go ahead and go over to the maces and weapons. I know my cam's right here, so I'll go ahead and scroll down. You'll see that there's Wart's Leg over here. And interesting enough, with Wart's Leg, it actually has some pretty unique mechanics. So it doesn't have a legendary ability. It doesn't really do anything. And in fact, if we go over here, whoops, you go over here, you can't do anything with it, but you can transmog, and you can see you get Wart's Leg, which is actually pretty cool. So that's the other transmog that you get, but it's not over yet. This is where it gets like really cryptic. All right, so then you have to get this item, then you salvage it to get the map of the stars. This is a secret map over here. So now that we've done like all the achievements or all of the objectives here, it's going to go ahead and say you probably weren't supposed to find this old map. It appears to have a hoof print stamped on it and the numbers 213. So now we go back to the old ruins. I'm just going to go ahead and use this. So we're going to go ahead and go back over here, and then we're going to go right next to the witch's hut, which is in this direction.
What you ask is impossible.
I love it when games have these Easter eggs and secrets. So as far as this goes, the cows are ordered, it's ordered 2, 1, and 3. So it would be 2, 1, and 3. And you have to do it in that specific order. If you do not, you will have to reload the game. So now we're going to go ahead and go to the abandoned farmstead. And I'm not actually sure if it will drop because I already have the cow pet, but for the sake of the video, we'll go ahead and show off the abandoned farmstead because this is a secret area over here, and it will have the Wart's stash. Now it will go ahead and drop a bunch of gold, and it will also give you the cow pet, but because I already have it, it I guess doesn't drop because I actually haven't done this. Well, so we'll go ahead and equip the cow pet over here. And you'll see just a bunch of cows. There's nothing specifically here that is like noteworthy of mentioning, unless there's something that they've added in specifically this year. And if there is any changes to it, I'll let you guys know in the comment section below. I'll pin it. But it looks like it's kind of similar to the tile set that is used on the Bovine Bardiche, which is like the secret, or it's called the not the cow level. But if you guys haven't seen what the heck the cow level is, there is an area where you can actually defeat the cows, and I'll pin that also down below just in case any of you guys have not seen that yet. But that is another mechanic here. But now that I've shown you guys how to acquire the cow pet, I want to go ahead and go over all the achievements here and explain them. So we'll go ahead and once again go to achievements, and it takes a second to load in to show off the special events. So first off, as far as all of them, kill all 4 bosses. I showed you guys the Butcher, that's in level 2. The Skeleton King is level 3. The Archbishop Lazarus and Diablo you have to fight, and these will give you these 2 banner rewards. That is the the thing that you go ahead and have. It shows that's the banner over here. So it would be the whatever ones that I forgot the exact name of it, but that is one thing that you'll be. It's right here. You see the little icon as far as the sigil on the accent. And then the Protector of Tristram over here will give you the classic demon. That is the one that we're currently running right now. It has the demon with the red background. The other one, I really wish it had a blue background because it's supposed to be like the HP and mana. But nonetheless, you have to defeat every single one of these. And I will once again pin that in the comment section below because this will give you the guide for the location of every single one of the bosses. They are random, so if one of them doesn't spawn, just go ahead and do it again. It doesn't take that long, honestly, because there's only a few levels anyways, but that will give you the Demon Portrait Frame. Now, as far as collecting the Cultist pages, these are items that you will acquire when you go ahead and go through certain areas. Those certain areas are going to be the Cathedral 1 through 4, as well as the Festering Woods. I can kind of... I should show this off, because there are multiple, and you can get them from... There's not a specific cultist page that drops off of a very specific area. It's just farm the area, try to get as many of them as possible. And I will, let me show off this really quick. So we'll go ahead and just go through the cathedral real quick and just kind of path out. And yeah, I think we'll be destroying everything fast enough anyways. I was going to say I can lower the difficulty here. We'll just skip out so you guys can go ahead and check out what they look like. They are very specific looking cultists, so they look a little bit different. Because I feel like this is something that's kind of important. Oh, I also should mention that you just saw me periodically struggling over there. So I'm going to go through. Let's go to level 4. I think it'd be a little bit faster, just because I like the tile set on that much better, since there's not like a bunch of rooms that are separated, essentially. But yeah, you'll find these cultists, or maybe I'll just add a screenshot if I don't happen to find them, so I don't make this video like overly long. Let's go ahead and go. We'll see if we can find at least one of the groups of cultists here. There's like no enemies. You just gotta move about the tile set. Okay, we'll go ahead and go back and I believe you can get them also in the halls. Okay, let me check this. I'm pretty sure you can get them in the halls as well. Let's go ahead and destroy the door. These guys are blocking my path. Since we're pretty much done with this, I'm going to go ahead and just lower the difficulty so I can just show you guys this really quick. But yeah, I'll put this is the Dark Cultists. Okay, more Dark Cultists over here, but they're very specific looking ones. So you can see how those ones look, but I want to show you guys the other ones, and I believe that they're Cathedral 1 through 4, I believe Halls of Agony, and again, I'll just leave it down below.
Your strength fails.
So you guys will have the exact location. And then over here, okay, they were periodically struggling, and then it activates and just pops everything. It's kind of cool to go and see that being activated. Okay, so there's the only path is up there.
What you ask is impossible.
Hopefully we can at least find one, but again, oh, here it is. Temporal. There we go. We got a cultist page. All right. So yeah, I believe it's Halls of Agony, Cathedral 1 through 4. You'll see them. They basically are dressed in just, I would say, all black. So you'll have to get all of the cultist pages for the whoops.
I cannot do that here.
It's achievements. So that is how you obtain the cultist pages. And you'll have to get all of them. Now, these are tradable, so if I happen to end up collecting all of them and I'm live streaming, if you guys want to follow me, by the way, on Twitch, I'll leave that also in the pinned comment. But if I end up collecting all of them, just like last year, if you guys want to hop into my game, I will give you all the pages, and then you can give them back to me, and that way I can give them to the rest of the community here. Because these are items that are not account bound, unless they have to... Oh, they just changed that. I think they just changed that, at least. I don't know, maybe because we're in a solo game. But before, you could trade these to people. But it does say now that it is account bound. So maybe they've patched it. It's really not that big of a deal, I guess. So that might have been something that is new to this year's, or maybe it was a patch that was added at some point in one of the updates. I don't remember exactly the time frame for that, but they were tradable before. Anyways, that's how you unlock the Classic Angel. For the Wart's Leg, I already showed you guys how to go ahead and acquire that. The Dark Passage, this is something that's RNG and I can't guarantee it in the video. I might make a very specific video going over all of those areas, but just for the sake of this video, to not try to RNG and get that level, because not only do I have to reach that area because there's no waypoints, but I have to also get lucky. So Dark Passage is an RNG spawn on level 2. The Chamber of Bone is on level 7. Halls of the Blind, we did do that in the gameplay, which is on level 7. Now, the last one over here is the Kill the Dark Lord in the solo game, starting with level 1 character, which we did. So that one I don't really need to explain. I mean, it's just complete the entire game. And then that is how you get all of the achievements for the Darkening of Tristram event. But anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed the gameplay, and hopefully this helped you guys out in case you guys did want to go ahead and get all of the achievements, as well as going over all of the transmogs, which we did also go over. So thanks for tuning in, guys. And if you are new here and would like to see more Diablo, as well as other gaming and action RPG content, because Wolcen is coming out this month, and we'll be covering that game as well. But thanks for tuning in, guys. And again, everything is down below, just in case you guys are like, wait, hold on, I missed out on a step, in the pinned comment for any of the timestamps, for any of the achievements, as well as the guide for everything. But thanks for tuning in, guys. Have a good one, and I'll catch you guys on the next video. Peace.